So I feel like I'm mostly there. I've got an account on Sandbox, and I pasted in the ChatGPT generated Python code,
Yeah.
but then it just seems to float and I would wait
So
20 minutes and nothing would happen.
which sandbox? That was sort of thing I was confused on because there's so many different.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a,
No, because Sandbox is a game design engine that a lot of major companies use for just talking about a specific style of game, not necessarily a program. So is it the Sandbox game? Is it Sandbox code Sandbox?
so which one would you,
Well, that's why I was curious on which one you're looking at. If you did, I don't know if you sent me the link to the Sandbox. Might be able to that you're trying to look into.
yeah, it was, code Sandbox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All right, let's have a look.
that one look familiar?
I haven't used it, but yeah, I'm in there now. Look for scale Sandbox. So can you? So you're finding that you're trying to implement the code from ChatGPT into this to do something specific. What's
Yeah,
the?
so I've got a simulation game,
Yep.
and then the instructions were to run the apt
Mm-hmm.
code sandbox. And then this is the simulation, and then it tells me to copy everything here
Yep.
and delete that.
And then you just get errors.
And then there's just errors there, and then let's see, I want it's right here. I don't know, maybe it's just ChatGPT didn't create it correctly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna paste that. Okay, well, this looks a little bit better.
Yep.
Where I was getting error messages.
Yeah.
Okay,
So essentially what you're doing is vibe coding, where you're using common language to create code and then putting it into another program to generate an app or an interface.
mhm,
Really hard to troubleshoot when you're getting it, but that looks like it's starting to do what you want.
yeah,
But see, one of the fundamental things you might, I don't know how far you've gone down this track, but when we're looking at vibe coding in general, we want to create what we call a PRD, a product requirement document.
mhm.
So in your chat history, did it create a series of requirements for the code sandbox to
Um,
follow?
I remember there were a few lines of code that showed up, I sort of disregarded them.
Yep. So yeah, no, that's fine. So when you're in sandbox, now you've put that in there, does it look like it's doing what you want?
Yeah.
And can you interact with it?
Mhm. Let me put on.
So can you give me like a really high level overview of what the app version is supposed to do?
So it's a simulation where they're assigned a country,
Mhm.
and then that country has particular natural resources, and there's a commodity there.
Ah,
So
yeah.
it's oil is $12 a barrel, and then they can choose to buy it or sell it.
Mhm.
And then the next turn, there's some sort of current event that happens. And so war in the Middle East, oil is scarce, supply is down, demand is up, price goes up,
Mhm.
you benefit from that.
Okay, got
Yeah.
you. Yeah, okay. So if you're finding you're getting stuck on because code sandbox by the looks of it, what I'm seeing, it's you can do various different integrations. Like there's a storybook integration. There's all sorts. Have you tried the Claude code before?
Mhm.
So Claude code is I'll bring it up for you so you can see it. Claude, it's my at the moment it's my go-to for it's been my go-to for nearly 2 years now because it is pretty much the powerhouse of writing, but
Mhm.
now it's basically battling out everyone else in regards to the coding space too,
Okay.
because it can make artifacts in real time and
Mhm.
simulations in real time, which then you can then publish into different formats. Like you can create all sorts. So like if you look at this, so this is Claude in a nutshell, but you've got this Claude code. You can code directly in this,
Mhm.
uh, and it can do whatever you want. Or you've got the specific like coding platform, which can be a bit more like robust, I guess. So, for example, like if you copied over, if you ask ChatGPT right now, create a PRD and just tell it that, create a PRD based on my entire chat history for this project, so that we can vibe code what we call an MVP. So create a PRD so we can develop an MVP, a minimum viable product.
And
MVP, a minimum viable product. and output it in a way that I can copy this as single prompt into a different engine. And then just once it's generated it, just paste it to me in a chat, and I'll slap it in here, and we'll see if it does.
For the purposes of a simulation of program.
So you've got ChatGPT, you've got their version called Codex now. They should do something very similar. These two companies are sort of battling it out. But the reason I go with this one is like this is a framework that I've just put together. I'm about to trial it with the tech team, and I think I sent it to you. But that's all Claude code. Like it basically coded out my minimum viable product. This isn't interactive. I could make it interactive if I wanted to, but I basically just ran Claude and produced this document.
What was interesting is with the Exploria kids, we created a haunted house, sort of a mud game, all text. You're in this room, look at this.
Yeah.
And it worked terrific for me because I have a subscription.
Yeah.
And the PDF and the code, and that was all in a group project. And so I could run the simulation endlessly, but they ran out after a very short amount of time.
Yeah, they hit their token limit.
Yeah.
I think that's why as a education like institute, we were just gonna more than likely start moving into Gemini.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it's free for all kids. It's got a lot more security protocols around it, like from a data protection side of things.
Yeah.
And the token limit is it's basically non-existent when it comes to this kind of stuff. Did it produce something for you? Should be a huge working document.
Yeah, it's all in text.
Yeah, that's great. So if you copy the entire thing, like one.
I don't think you'll let me do the data structure.
Okay, so tell it one more prompt. Say this needs to be exported in one solid PDF or written form in what we call a companion prompt.
Or a companion prompt.
Yeah.
Yeah, once Gemini integrates with Google Drive and email and
that's it.
Yeah, there's not gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you've seen now it's in Google Classroom. You got Google Notebook LM already in there. You've got the Gems feature of Gemini in there. It's gonna, for us, it's gonna just take over like our working operation once we fine tune it a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just still find Claude is just so good. Like on basically everything I try to do it. So,
Will it recognize if there's any errors in the code or bugs?
and it'll debug it all. Basically, I haven't found a limit that I haven't been able to get around, because all I would do is I screenshot the error, send it back in, and say find and fix this error, and then it will sift through. And because we're asking it for a PRD, product requirement document, it's like a very strict instructions it needs to execute. So it'll try to go back and find any particular like fundamental flaws in the design.
Maybe confirm. I wonder sometimes if they put that in there just to slow down the processing that they have to do.
Exactly. Yeah, they do it a bit in this as well. Like you'll be exporting this massive thing, and then it'll just like, yeah, can't do that. It's too much. Yeah, here's that example what I was talking about. I put in my prompts about this AI framework we're about to use. I've ran it a few times, and then it's built out this for me, so then I can just publish it onto a website.
I'm going on going to America in another 2 weeks with the Scholar Scout kids.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be gone for basically 2 weeks.
Yep.
Feels like.
Yeah.
But I'll try to get an activity for the grade 10s.
Oh yeah.
With the stoplights.
Nice. So I'm gonna head off in 12 minutes to SLT. But if this so what I would suggest is two things. Is one, you can just send me over and I can just slap it into a board and just see what it produces for you.
Okay.
Second thing is to try Gemini for the same thing. Grab that PRD that you're creating and put it in here once you're signed in, because it should. Basically, everyone in this space that I'm watching is they'll have like Replit open, which is another vibe coding platform, but it's a paid one. They'll have Claude Code open, they'll have Codex open, and they get the prompt that they want, and they'll put it into 3 different things at the same time and see which gets a better response. And it's pretty much they're just like, oh, we're gonna take a bit of this, take a bit of that, and then they get this really cool interface going.
Word document or formatted.
All right. So you're going to be in America in week 3 and 4? We're week 1 now.
Term, so
Yeah.
November the 2nd or the 3rd.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I was going to say, like basically teaching myself how to do vibe coding at the moment, and I've been doing it for a bit, just testing this kind of stuff. But on the 4th, I'm going to run an hour, sort of just learn with me kind of sessions on just online. And if you're available, you could have jumped in that. This is basically like I'm just getting a small group of like, okay, this is what we're
Be good.
focusing on, and
Because, you know, in the past, the students have done a simulation that involves slips of paper and a lot of messy things.
yeah,
It can work, but
these days you can
yeah,
definitely.
and this one would keep better accounting, I believe, so. So I emailed it to you. I can look at the chat history and try to do another one by myself.
Yeah, so I'll grab this one that you sent, and I'm just going to paste it in exactly how you got it. But I'll give it a prompt. I'll say pretty much what I'm telling you is you're designing a simulation game for students. It attaches a PRD overview. Review it, create an MVP. If there's any issues, ask for context. See what it does.
How much of the feeling if you're typing on, like you share? Yeah, like if it's there, just grab it. If it's not there, just send me a text. It's probably inside. Okay, I think I'm too fat. It's we live every now. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no. Oh, you could try and be more expensive. To a little more. I'm just about mine. That's lovely. Thank you. What is it for? Social media.
You're running Codex for the same thing?
I guess I am. I didn't know what was under the hood.
Yeah.
But I found it really,
It's a separate thing.
it's really amazing because I could alter the game, and what the kids did is they wrote their own description of their particular haunted room
Yeah.
and what was gonna happen in there and what the puzzle was. And then I slapped that onto the PDF that is in the group
Mhm.
file. And then the story will change.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. All right. So here's a MVP for this. Let's see if it runs. So you got your trade sim light, global trade simulation for grade 10 economics. Here's your objectives. Select your country. Each country specializes in different commodities. Choose wisely. Colombia exports coffee, flowers. United Kingdom exports pharmaceuticals, machinery. India, spices, textiles. Thailand, rice, electronics. Saudi Arabia, oil and petrochemicals. Let's go Saudi. New oil reserves discovered in Africa. Major oil discovery increases global supply expectations. Oil prices drop. Impact buyers of oil and petrochemicals benefit. Commodity market. How much are we buying and selling? So new oil discovery, and you've got 1,000.
Can you edit that at all, or is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I want to buy, I don't know. Let's go petrochemicals. Oh, pharmaceuticals. No, where's petro? There it is. It's going down. I want to buy lots, and
I think that's one thing that's not quite right in the simulation is that everyone starts off at zero. And it should be that Saudi Arabia has most of the oil.
yeah. So what it's not showing is any price.
Right.
So what we do is we screenshot this. Don't have to screenshot it, but you can, and say, oh, it didn't finish. That's why. So let's just continue it. So that should show a price up, how many holdings they currently have, and based on what country they were selected.
So then this would be packaged up as an app. And then how do I have the students run the app?
Yeah, so all you do is hit publish, and we can hit publish again, and pretty much I can copy this and put it into our chat. There you go, you've got it now. So now you can run the version that we've just created, but because it's not doing 100% of what we want, there's other things that it's saying, hey, we need these things answered. Classroom deployment, teacher controls, data export. So like things like this, I just paste into the chat, say, what do we want to say? They start off with a certain.
Yeah, have them have half of their half of their money is in cash and the other half is in the commodity of the country, what the country's specialty is. We'll probably link Columbia to Auckland and get your meeting coming up here.
They just cancelled it.
Oh,
Even better. Up in the country.
get till 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or until 9 o'clock when you brought back.
Yep.
Yeah, the Canon side should be the most big, but what we have a Canon side, so.
So it's doing what we want. We've got updated pricing lists now. You can see holdings. You can see cash on hand, total wealth. And what I've asked it now, I've basically said, where's the next prompt I give you? I said, here it is. Excellent. Now suggest ways to improve the simulation to teach students about markets and address the learning objectives. We've just lost internet, but it's just given me a bunch of suggestions and they're huge. So I'm just going to say, it's just giving us a question. What's the biggest impact for your grade 10s? Comparative advantage bonus reinforces specialization, achievement badges, better reflection questions, price history graph. Want to add.
Okay.
So I just said excellent. Now, what for you? What would be the best thing? Comparative advantage bonus, achievement badges, better reflection questions, price history graph.
Your level of money.
This is for,
Making urgent right now.
no, for next week.
The most urgent, probably, so let's get that set right now. And then I'll come back tomorrow, most of the day, I think. So tomorrow we will finalize all this stuff.
Sure. If you plan another thing, then.
If I have time, I'll come over here, but if you want to tomorrow, it's good. Okay, thank you. Good night. All right.
So I was going to put in the comparative advantage now, and I basically said put in the comparative advantage, current events, link to tariffs, include a price history graph, implement each suggestion above, and ensure the simulation works at each stage. So that's why you can see it's like creating it, going to the next thing, creating it, going to the next thing. If we didn't say something like make sure the one above still works, it could create all of it and then crash something, and then it's really hard to find the backlog. There's applications that pretty much do this. You can link it in and it'll run like a step-by-step guide. Execute this, check it, execute this, check it. So I just basically turned that into a prompt. All right. Comparative advantage is added, trade log recognition, endgame analysis, how it teaches, gave us some examples, test simulation now. All right, let's do it. We're going to select UK. All right. Global tech demand surges, AI boom drives massive demand for electronics, price climbs, holders for electronics machinery benefit. Currently got 500 baht, so we don't want to buy when it's up, but let's just go buy 5 oil. Yeah, that worked. End turn. UK medical recall announced, holders of pharmaceuticals benefit.
You think the scenarios are gonna be different each time they run the simulation?
Yeah, I think so. So that's where I'll just buy a couple of things and then go through because it's got 10 simulations.
Okay.
Global tech demand surges, AI booms. It's again the same thing. I just go that and similar kicked my do. I want to sell. Actually, I want to sell. Where's the tech? You got any? Nope. In turn, seasonal floods, holders of rice benefit. Sell. Yeah, in turn. So can't see certain things. So it's telling me like this is what you're holding with the green, like this is our home base. It's giving us wealth changes based on what we're doing. Buy some of that, buy that, end turn, seasonal floods, buy, end turn, and complete session. Complete game, we ended up getting a profit of 44 baht, 40% basically, comparative advantage. As UK Kingdom, you specialize in pharmaceuticals machinery. You diversified away from your specialization. Only 40% came from home exports. Remember, countries benefit from specializing in goods. Reflection question linked to the MYP criterion D. Explain how supply and demand influenced your trading decisions throughout the simulation, including specific example events, and then play again.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we could say like this was really good, like give it feedback. And then it's basically saying it's ready to implement stage 2, which is linking to current events.
Oh, okay.
So that was just stage 1 of putting in the comparative advantage.
Mhm.
And now we could say, okay, move to stage 2.
Would they be real current events or hypotheticals?
We can specify, we can ensure these are real events
Or the news?
on market conditions. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So once you might find that I saw like it came up with the same scenario a couple of times.
Mhm.
So it came up with like, there was a flood, and then again 3 rounds later there was a flood again.
Yeah, the flood.
So
Well, maybe that's.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now let's see, because we're now saying link it to current events, that's adding a whole level of complexity because it's now trying to sift the internet or sift, articles.
This is so much better because the only other electronic way I knew how to do this is that you can get stock simulations where you're given play money and then you bet on the stock market, but there's never a provable cause and effect to that.
Yeah.
And it's just gambling.
Yeah.
It's just all speculation at that
Yeah.
point.
Well, that's it.
And you get a false sense of
Yeah.
their
How it works.
greatness.
Yeah,
Although
exactly.
in 2008, 2009, it was an awesome game because they all lost their self-confidence. Lost 40% of their portfolio.
Honestly, that's probably the best lesson they could have. Fake
Yeah.
money, lose it all.
You're not a genius.
Yeah, not a trading lord. You can. That's so funny. So eventually we'll hit a token limit, but we're
Mhm.
currently up to version 14 of this app simulation.
And do you have a free one or you pay for this?
This is paid, but this is 35 Australian a month,
Yeah,
which is, I find that's just,
yeah, for how much you can use it.
yeah. So now it's got real world current events, authentic to 2025 markets. All 9 events are based on current commodity market considerations, such as oil oversupply, coffee historic highs, US tariff shock, high since 1930s, and it's given us reasons, major events, and now it's saying ready for stage 3. I'm just going to say yes, which is history graph, because we haven't like hit really many errors yet, which is pretty good. This is like, for me, this highlights the importance of having a really structured PRD right at the start. Like, you prompt and prompt and prompt and then get a really stable like product refinement document, because that just gives you the whole foundation of the whole thing. If we tried to implement each part individually, we'd probably hit so many errors.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think I have Claude.
Yeah, cool.
Installation complete.
Yeah, so you've probably got the full Claude code. This is just the Claude app web browser. So you got Claude code, which is this one, which you can download. I haven't downloaded it yet. And then you've got Claude itself, which is separate, but it still has a coding platform inside of it. It's just not as robust.
So I should see
Just regular Claude. Yeah. Yeah, so here we go. Here's our first error saying artifact failed to load. Generated artifact uses libraries we don't support. Okay, and then it just says try fixing, and then once it's done, we'll go try fixing this bug. All right, cool. So it should have history graphs. You got current global events, wheat supply, expected to rise 8% in 2025 due to global supply shortages and strong demand from Asia. And then it's given where it's pulled it from based on the financial content agricultural analysis, October 2025. So that's current market conditions. So let's just sell a few things and then end it. And I just want to just end.
Did they assign commodities at the beginning of the game?
Yeah, so I'll go back. I'll refresh it. So this is the beginning. You select your country based on whatever. So India, and then here's my commodities. They're in green. You can see I've got 12 holdings of spice, 10 of textiles, I've got 500 in cash.
Oh, perfect.
And that number here changes as you go through by selling. So like if I sell these, well, I've got a little bit of money added. I want to buy a bunch of this. I've lost, still saying your total wealth is quite high because you've got all these commodities.
Right.
And then it's saying, here's my event log of what in my history. I'm just going to end and not choose to buy or sell. So I suppose that's the thing to teach kids too. Holding is half the battle.
Right.
It's like when the market's going crazy. Yeah, and then tariffs. Here we go. Massive tariff just hit 28% tariff on domestic products. And simulation, right? Somehow because I just held it, I've got a profit. Comparative amount performance. Rating, not bad. You maintained your capital. Cool.
Does it summarize there your choices you made?
Yeah, you leveraged your comparative advantage well. 58% of your portfolio came from home exports. Remember, countries benefit from specializing in goods. Yeah. If we can say, if we want a more detailed comparative advantage, like than this, or it's because they're reflecting on.
Right.
It's, I suppose that would be you're determining what you want them to do and what you want the simulation to do. But I can hit publish on this one, and whether that's your MVP, your minimum viable product that you are happy to run with kids, or you can just keep iterating really. There we go. So when we've got the published version, this is what it comes up as like for kids. They wouldn't see the portal. They just play, well, straight in, and then they can, you know, buy, sell whatever they want, and changes all their figures and then well,
I can have them upload screenshots after they complete the game
yeah,
and,
of his final game complete. This is how much I lost or how much I earned. You could even ask, you can actually put that in. Where's it gone? You can put that in here if you want them to have an exportable Excel sheet or whatever it is.
Mhm.
You could basically put that in, okay, export spreadsheet.
Would it take long to have that?
No, I can just say it now.
So I guess there would be a part on the game where they'd have to write their name in.
Yeah, just a word of caution on that one. Avoid using both names, just one.
Yeah, first name.
Yeah. And what would you want? Do you want the summary? Do you want the trades that they made, the history in Excel?
I think a summary would be enough, and then I can run that through ChatGPT and get an overall.
Yeah.
Or if I put them into team groups or just another way to present the data to them afterwards.
Yeah.
Reflection.
Yeah. So yeah, you could take this like full on. Like you could have, for example, a market graph shows the, you know, the trading up and downs. You can
Of different products.
yeah, like that, like I might, because you can always go back to your version and just use the one that you like the most. See, there's 27 versions at the moment, but I've just asked it to include a Excel export.
Yeah, I can see how the tweaks could come in because if I put the students' names in there and it randomly assign them a country. They would like that because it's not that they're just trading with Astra, they're trading with, you know,
Yeah.
Columbia who run by Astra.
Yeah, you can definitely add as much context as you want into it. And at the start, you could get them to you know put in like you could type it or they can select what is it going to be their trading style. You know, is this going to be aggressive? Is it conservative? Are we going to like, you know, look for specific market trends and sell by? And you can get them to determine their course of action right at the beginning if you wanted to.
It would be, interesting to see if you could crash the machine and the economy just to say tariffs gone up from 10% to 38% to 200% on rare earth materials from China. And then,
Yeah.
but it's economics, so they're complex models.
I'll add that button in a second. And what do you call that graph? I can't remember. It's the one that's in all share markets. It's basically like price history, and it's the line graph. I think it is just line graph.
Line graph and prices.
I've just lost all the terminology of financial brokerage. See if it does it. I've just said add a line graph price history for commodities when they're selected to simulate the real market brokerage and trading charts. Keep it simple but in line with commodity prices. Because it'd be cool if like when they selected, I want to look at this commodity. Here's the current price is going down. Well, what's the history? Has it been? Because they could even then pull up a search engine and say, when was the last tariff hit for this commodity?
Oh, yeah.
And they could go, oh, well, based on prior market conditions, I know it's not how you should be doing certain things, but it's going to give, Yeah, cool. But it's giving us, what's it saying? Price trend over the last 5 turns. Right. I suppose it needs to say that. This is good, but too simple. If I select that, no.
Years ago, I saw a simulation in the past. It was like 1943. You were making decisions for Anne Frank as to how she was going to survive the Nazis taking her away.
All right.
So there's all these different situations you can do, but the thing about the whole thing is that you don't. There's no situation where she gets away.
Yeah, okay.
So
That's interesting. It's like it reminds me of the ethical decisions of, have you seen that? It's by MIT, it's about autonomous cars.
yeah,
Yeah, that one's like, who are you going to take out? The old lady or the doctor?
right.
Like, or the passenger? Yeah, it's interesting. I used to do it with my grade 9 engineering class when we're looking at AI and ethics back in, like, I think it was like 2016 or something. It was so fun.
Well, I've got to run. I've got to.
Yeah, mate. I'll hit publish on this, and then
Alright, well, thank you
you
much.
you can play around with whatever you want.
Yeah.
I can copy, by the way, I can copy this entire chat and send it to you, and you can keep it editing.
Okay,
Yeah,
great. I'll see when I hit my limit.
yeah,
I wonder if I can do it within ChatGPT and then move it over to Claude.
definitely, probably could.
My tokens
Yeah.
for Claude.
Yeah, that's it. Cool.
Yeah.
See ya.